Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to your daily update for the Gulf regarding tropical systems Laura and Marco. Lot to get into from the advisory we got earlier this morning. I don't think there's going to be a 2 p.m. advisory, being honest. Probably have to wait until maybe 5 p.m. Yeah, they're not even going to mention the next big advisory, but let's get to Marco first. I want to get into the message for Marco. So this is what the NHG is saying. Gusty winds, dangerous storm surge, and heavy rainfall is expected from Marco sometime now going into later tonight into tomorrow. Interest in the area should be followed by any advice given by local elected officials. Tropical storm Laura, now this is the next thing we got to worry about, could bring additional storm surge, rainfall, and wind impact to the portions of the U.S. Gulf Coast by the middle of this week. This could result in a prolonged period of hazardous weather for areas that may be affected by Marco. Interest here should monitor the progress of Marco and Laura and updates to the forecast during the next few days. So we're just going to go to the warning cone right now, the official one. So the decent news I can say here is that this is going to make landfall as a tropical storm. But remember, for people in New Orleans, I just want to warn you right now that we just dealt with Tropical Storm Isaias here in New York, and it caused a lot of damage. It wasn't the rain that did us in, it was the wind. So if it's not the rain, the wind can do you guys in drastically down there. So take this seriously. In fact, look up the news reports from Isaias, because if you didn't hear what happened with Isaias in New York, I went through it. My friends went through it. They didn't have power for days. I had downed trees in my area. And, this is why people really have got to start taking the tropics very seriously for these reasons. So, you see here, look at this. It's going to make landfall sometime later tonight. Oh, also, I want to mention an important note. For those expecting to hear the Weather Channel, if you have the online subscription feed and you can only get audio, the Weather Channel is doing special coverage in the next couple of days on SiriusXM online channel 721. So if you are interested, you can do that. And I know I might tune in on Wednesday morning when I'm on the way to the doctor's office for my appointment. So, let me just see here something. Let me get the radar image. Yeah, this is the radar. As you can see here, here is Marco, Tropical Storm Marco. So it's not a hurricane anymore, but it is still a tropical storm. And also I need to mention, in my area, there may be a chance of severe thunderstorms. So not only am I keeping an eye on this, I have to keep an eye on severe thunderstorms in my area. And I want to mention, I'm seeing the rain right now from Marco. How is this affecting the Florida Panhandle right now? See, to me, that's just very odd. Well, maybe I'm just seeing it wrong. I don't know from this radar image. By the way, I'm also loading up the tidbits right now. The tidbits is just going crazy today because you have so many people trying to load up the GFS today. In fact, I was even supposed to load up the NAM. So can I even load up the NAM in the meantime? I do apologize, folks. I wanted to pull up the NAM. Let that load in the background, because that's going to be important as we go along here. So it's going to take a while, but I am going to load up the NAM model right now, as I am going to give you the update on Laura. So let's go to Laura. And right now, here's what we know about Laura. Laura is expected to strengthen into a hurricane sometime tomorrow. Most meteorological experts are and agree with this, and considering that the GFS and NAM are in agreement, that is a very more clear sign, I guess. So let's just read the advisory. Tropical storm conditions are expected across most of Cuba today. Heavy rainfall is likely across Cuba and Jamaica today, as these rains could cause mudslides and life-threatening flash and urban flooding. Tropical storm conditions are expected in the can't even pronounce this word. Try Torgas. Oh, okay, so it says the tropical storm conditions are expected in the Keys today. So that's going to have to be monitored. There's an increasing risk of dangerous storm surge, wind, and rainfall impacts from the upper Texas coast through the north central Gulf Coast beginning on Wednesday. Interest in these areas should monitor the progress of Laura and ensure that their hurricane plan is in place. A storm surge and hurricane watches will likely be issued by local NWS offices sometime later today. So I want to go into the cone because this is going to be very important. And I want to go into the wind because, to be honest, the situation with Laura looks to be worse than Marco at this point. I know Marco's only a tropical storm. I understand that. But now you see with these examples that Laura is going to have to be the storm that is closely monitored. We were worrying for two scenarios, two hurricanes at the same time. But thankfully, Marco is making landfall tomorrow. Laura is probably going to make landfall sometime on Thursday. And that's the situation that we are dealing with right now. So, the issue is most meteorological experts are in agreement that this could probably make landfall as a Cat 2. And as I said, I've been through a Cat 2. I went through Sandy. It's not a pleasant experience. So, that's why if you're in Lake Charles and you're along the Texas border, and this is where Houston comes into play, because now Houston is still in that cone of uncertainty, because Houston still is reeling through the effects of Harvey from 3 years ago. You have a situation, if this goes west, this is sort of taking a similar track of what Harvey did in 2017. It's sort of going in that path. So we look at the radar right now, and as you can see here, Laura is currently over Cuba. This is Laura right now over Cuba. And Cuba right now, there's a heavy band of rain that could probably impact western Cuba sometime later today. So let's go to the GFS and get an idea of, plain simple, what's going to happen here. So as you can see here on the GFS, there goes Marco. Now we focus on Laura. And now with Laura, the concern is the... let me pull up the weather thing, because I know I had the... trying to think... Scale. Yeah, this is the one. This is the picture I had. Now, the milliband. This is what I'm very concerned about right now. As you can see here, 955. 955 is a Cat 3. Okay? So, this goes here. You could see Laura make impact in Lake Charles sometime on Thursday. Now, it could move east, a little bit more east, go to Lafayette. Remember, Lafayette's another big city in Louisiana, like Lake Charles is. Or, worst case scenario, this could move west. We do not want to see this move west. I should have pulled up the wind. So, can we even pull up the wind? So, might as well pull up the wind. There it goes. So, look at this. All of Louisiana is just going to see a lot of bad weather scenarios playing out. We have eastern Louisiana with Marco, and then a majority of Louisiana seeing this hurricane. And then, look, Arkansas. This could still make landfall as a Cat 1 in Arkansas, potentially. Oh, never mind. This won't be a Cat 1. So this will probably just be a tropical storm that goes into Arkansas even. So even Arkansas is going to see effects from this. So there you have it. There it goes. So on the NAM, we take a look at the NAM here. I want to try to pull up the wind. Yeah, can we go on to Ventusky? Yeah, let's go to Ventusky. I don't want to use this. Let's go to Ventusky. let's get an idea of what Ventu Sky is potentially going to claim. Because we do Ventu Sky, we get a better idea of what's going to happen. So, yep, like I figured, look how warm those waters are. Look how warm those waters are in the Gulf. That's why you have Marco and then Laura out in the Gulf right now. But we take a look at the NAM very quickly. There goes Marco. So yeah, there is a heavy band that could impact New Orleans. I mean, Marco could do that. But now here comes Laura, and the NAM thinks that Laura is going to make landfall now as a Cat 2. So, NAM thinks Cat 2, GFS thinks Cat 3. But now we want to take a look at wind speed. We don't want to look at wind gust because that's a scary situation. We want to now go over to, I'd say, 11 o'clock tonight for the example. So, let's figure this out. Let's go back to Marco. Because, again, I'm doing this on the fly. Now I can get a better idea of what's going on here. So, let's go to tomorrow. That's a better scenario. We go to tomorrow. And let's go scenario at 3 o'clock in the morning. Okay, there goes Marco. Yes, see, now I'm getting a clearer picture. So, a majority of New Orleans could see winds going to 40 miles an hour. It's getting close to that red mark. Not red mark, yellow mark, excuse me. Yeah, I'm noticing it. Okay. But I want to see this. Yeah, see. This is what's so confusing. Do we have to go to 11 p.m.? Ah, okay, now this is starting to make a little bit of sense. Now we notice the winds of Marco going to New Orleans, that 40 mile per hour range of the winds, and you could see maybe 50, 60 mile per hour wind gust. That's possible. But we now want to focus on Laura, because Laura looks like to be the worst situation here. And as you can see here, there goes that orange. But what we want to do is we want to backtrack a little bit on Ventu Sky. Yeah, see, that's the thing. They're calling it a hurricane because this could potentially be 70, 80 miles an hour. And what I'm concerned about is that red color, that dark red color over here that I do not want to see, that Lake Charles doesn't want to see, that Houston doesn't even want to see. So Laura is now the storm that is the main focus. Laura seems to be that focus. So wind. When will the wind come? Looks like the wind could come into New Orleans sometime Wednesday morning. And the winds could even impact New Orleans. So you go to wind speed probabilities. Yep, there we go. There we go. It's looking like this little color could even impact New Orleans. So it's another situation that New Orleans would have to keep an eye on. Just check Houston. Yeah, Houston could see winds. Beaumont could see winds, you know. But how would the winds be? That's a good question. That's what I would want to know. Hurricane wind speed probability. So I don't really want to get into the specifics, but you get the idea. So Marco makes landfall tomorrow. Laura could make landfall on Thursday. So Marco's tropical storm, Laura the hurricane. So now each day we're getting a clear understanding of this. And it's my job to make you all aware of this situation, because This week, you have the Republican National Convention. And each national news outlet is going to lead off with it. I understand that this is a very controversial political season going on, but again, we have these hurricanes in the Gulf that need to be monitored. That's my goal here. So, thank you all very much for watching. I will be back tomorrow with another update. So until then, take care.